tell the fans because when I first met you, and I told we went public and people know I was talking to you, you know, it wasn't like oh like man you dating a supermodel, not a model, but you dating a supermodel. So I was like lost, like what's the difference between a model and a supermodel? So explain to people what's the difference between a model and a supermodel. Because if you don't know, I found out from my fiance, it's two different types. A model and a supermodel. And we're not shooting anybody down, but it's two different types. It's a model and it's a supermodel. So explain to people the difference between the two.
Okay, so there's Instagram models.
Mm-hmm.
There's Instagram models. Davon, now you know the difference from an Instagram model, an influencer, and then you have a model, and then you have a supermodel. And I think supermodels, I feel they are established through working with high-end designers. Mm-hmm. And then in my experience, I feel like fashion really put me on the map working with these top designers, and then working with brands like Victoria's Secret gave me a voice to have. So I think those two things combined made me who I am today. Yeah.
Victoria's Secret. Okay, we're going to dive in a little bit to Victoria's Secret because I know a lot of women, when you talk about brands, a lot of women will, like lingerie brands, they will love to be a pick. I think it's like some special, like an angel to be picked for Victoria's Secret. A lot of women will love to be in those shoes. So explain to the fans, what's the difference between high-end brands and what's the difference between lingerie brands like Victoria's Secret?
Oh, okay. So working with high-end brands, for me in my career was very challenging because I spent a lot of time away from my family and spent a lot of time in Europe, in Paris and Milan and London.
Milan, your favorite city. You love Milan.
I love Italy, I do, but working in Milan, it was tough.
Yeah.
But I think it's just, fashion, it's totally different than working with lingerie companies just because it's more high-end, and then Victoria's Secret's a little bit more commercialized, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, you're on the right track. Go ahead.
Yeah, so again, like, working as a high fashion model really put me on the map in the fashion world, and then working with Victoria's Secret gave me a voice. So those two things combined made me Chanel Iman.
Yeah. When you talk about Victoria's Secret, of course, the first person comes to you is somebody like Giselle. Chanel Iman was like one of the black girls at the time working with Victoria's Secret in your era. So shout out to you for that. But as a woman, I feel like everybody, I'm not, she can speak on this more, but as a woman, everybody wants to, like kind of Drake said in the song, you're not a model unless you've been in Vogue. But she can explain to you about that. What being in Vogue mean. You was in Teen Vogue, you was in Adult Vogue. So explain to the fans what it means for you to be in something like Vogue.
Well, it's a huge honor. Teen Vogue, I was chosen to be on the cover of Teen Vogue a few times in my early teens. And then once I got actually when I was younger as well, Anna Wintour put me on the cover of American Vogue with 9 other girls.
Shout out to Anna Wintour.
And
explain to the people, who is that?
Anna Wintour.
Explain to them, like they don't want to know, because they're gonna always see the lady.
Okay,
they're gonna always see the lady with the glasses, the dark glasses with the bob cut hair, pretty bob haircut. They don't even know who she is.
I gotta educate.
Explain to the fans who it is when she's at fashion shows. Okay. Explain to her.
So Anna Wintour is she is the queen, and she can make or break you when it comes to fashion. As a model, as a designer, if you want to establish a name for yourself, she's the one that can make things work for you. And she really was very supportive early on in my career. When I was 15, I was walking on a runway and I winked at her, and she called me into the office, and then she started booking me to be in American Vogue. And it was just a really exciting moment of my career to just get a phone call from Anna Wintour's office and work with photographers like Steven Meisel. yeah, like at that time, I was, it was very difficult as a African American model to make it in the fashion industry. Now, industry has changed a lot, and there's a lot more diversity than ever. But it's just a huge honor, and yeah, that is just something that I'm very proud of, and I'm very grateful to have a part of my career.